So, hello everyone, my name is Ravindra and I welcome you to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are seeing the string function in Microsoft Power Automate. All string functions we are covering also with the practical example. This is one of the in detail guide of string function. If you're not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe, and this is important as well. So please watch the complete end to end video, and also the Power Automate flow is also available for download, so you can also download that. If you have any questions, that you put in comments. So let's go and see. In the text, we have the text available with us. Let's add our first action, compose. Let's rename this to the first. Okay, first function is chunk function. So what is chunk function? If you go and see the Microsoft documentation, it split a string or collection into chunks of equal length. Okay, so let's we go and see more information. So here they have provided more information. Split a string or array into equal length simply. Okay, so let's see an example. So we have text available with us. Okay, so first I will showcase you. We will use one more function here. Okay, length, to count the length of this. Okay, and we will count the length of our function. Okay, output here. So now let's we go to the chunk function and use here chunk. Then let's use the bracket. So it is asking the string or an array. So let's we pass our text here. Okay, and let's use comma. So I need the 10. Okay, in the 10 equal parts it should gives me then output. So let's we go save our flow and run this. Let's see what output we are getting. So friends, if you see, okay, so we are getting the 10 words. Okay, 10 character in each line. Okay, so in the 10 parts, okay, total 18 columns we get here. Okay, with the 10 equal parts. So you can understand in this way. Okay, chunk function helps us to divide the text or an array into an equal parts. So if you see the length of our function, okay, so it is 184. So if you divide it by 10, so we are getting the 18 here. So in the chunk function, we pass the second parameter. Okay, if you see, I pass the second parameter as 10. So in the 10 character, I need a split. So if you use your array, so in the 10, 10, 10, okay, in that manner, it will split your array simply. Okay, so I hope you understand the chunk function. Let's go for our second function. So our second function concat. So let's we use the concat function. So basically friends, concat function is used to combine and string simply. Okay, let's we go to the Microsoft documentation and see what they have mentioned. So it is help us to combine two or more string and return a combined string only. Okay, so output also we will get the string only. So it is very simple, will not waste the time. We'll use here concat, open bracket, close bracket. Then we will use a text here. Okay, then I will do the at the starting. That's what I want to showcase here. Length, I want the dynamic output here. So I will use here this simply length function output outs after giving the comma here. Then we will give comma one more time. Use your string. I want to give some space and then comma. So this function close ends here, this ends here, and concat ends here. Let's click on the add. Okay, so it is ending here. Okay, so let's click on the add here. Okay, so friends, let's we click on the add here and let's run our Power Automate flow simply. So if you see friends, we are getting length 184, and the we are going to paste, and this is the output we are getting. So I hope you understand the concat function. It's used to combine the two strings or multiple strings. Now let's go to our second function, that is endsWith. So let's go and try to use this. Before that, let's go and see what output it's written. So it's check whether a single string end with a specific substring, return true when substring is found, or return false when it's not found. Simply, if you use the Power Apps, okay, in that we have the start end with function. So same is like that, okay. So let's we go and use this end with function, okay. Open bracket, check the. So if you see, we also getting suggestion. Check if strings end with a value. Case sensitive, this function is okay. So if you need to keep an eye in the sentence as well. So let's we pass the output here of the concat function and the string that we need to find. So I want to find the line. Okay. Let's see what output we will get here. So we will get the output in the true or false value. Okay. So let's run our flow and see what output we are getting. So friends, our flow run successfully. Let's see what output we are getting. So if you see, we are getting the false as the output because in the concat function it is starting with length function, not ending with the length function. That's why we get the false output. So let's we go in the text function and check it is ending with this or not. Okay, let's go, and in the end with function we will pass instead of length this value, update, and let's run our flow now. So in this case, we will receive the true value. Let's see, we are getting. So friends, you can see we are getting the value as a true. So it end with functions. Check the ending value only. Let's we go to our second function. Now we see format number. So this is most commonly used, and sometimes in the interviews also this question asked. So it is written the number as a string based on the specific format. Okay. So let's we go and check this function. Okay, so first we need to pass a number. So from dynamic content we pass our number, the length functions. Okay, and then in which format we need to format this. Okay, so in the string format we need to pass the format. Okay, so format is also mentioned. Okay, standard numeric formats. So if we go on the Microsoft documentation, so we have here all the formats available with us. Okay, so it is B for binary, D for decimal, fixed general. So you can take the help of chat GPT here, okay, and change the number formats. Okay. So for this function, we simply pass here, okay, this output, okay, and see it is splitting our number or not. So let's we pass this and just click on the add, and let's see what output we are getting. So whichever format you need, you can take the help of the chat GPT, and you can take the output or the format from the GPT itself. No need to remember everything. You can just take the help of GPT. So friends, you can see our number is splitted, okay, and we are getting in the desired format. So let's we go to our last function, guid. Guid represent to the hexadecimal 32 digit number, okay. It is unique identifier, and it always generate a unique string. So you can see generate a globally unique identifier as a string. So let's see how to use this. Let's click on the plus icon, compose action. Let's go to the expressions here, okay, and use your grid, and let's we close this. Let's click on the add, and let's test our flow now. manually trigger save and test. So guid you can use whenever you have to pass a unique identifier. In that case, you can use the guid in your Power Automate flow. You can also use UTC now because time is always changing at each second and each minute, so it will never repeat. So these two unique identifiers we have in our Power Automate, so we can use them. See, friends, you can see first time we generated this output. If I run my flow one more time, so this output is different, and each time whenever I run this flow, the guid. And let's go to the data operation, and let's use the compose operation for the learning purpose. So first we are seeing the index of function. So first step is always to rename our action. So let's we give here index of function. Let's go to the input section, click on here fx icon, and let's use here index of. Let's use the brackets, go to the dynamic content. In the dynamic content, let's we select the text here, okay, string that we need to pass, and second parameter the text index which we need to find. So let's I copy this expression, and let's I go first to the this text, okay. What we need to find, we have to find this 93, okay. So let's see at what number this is present, okay. So let's we go in the input power fx. Let's I paste this. So if I pass the 93 as the number, okay, so it is taking as number. So we will face an error here. So we need to pass the 93 in the string format. In that case, this function will return some value. So we pass it successfully. Let's first save our Power Automate flow here. Let's click on the test, and let's run our Power Automate. So if you see, friends, our flows run successfully, and in the output we are getting the number as 42. It is present at the 42 digit, okay. Let's go and see the max of documentation as well, okay. Return the starting position or index value for a substring. This function isn't case sensitive, and indexes start with the number 0, okay. So first we need to pass the text, and the second parameter we need to pass the text that we want to search. We see the practically as well. Let's go for the second function. So second is float function. Let's go first see it practically. Let's use data operation, compose. Let's rename the action. Let's go to the power fx, and let's use here isFloat. So if you see, friends, isFloat function take a string as an input and gives us the output as a boolean. So we need to pass the value in the string format, it means in the single quotes, and let's we give pass go with the positive side first, okay, positive scenario, and let's see what output we are getting. So I just pass the floating point number 111 1.1. Let's click on the add, and let's click on the test here. Manually save and test, run a flow. So if you see, friends, our flows run successfully, and we can see we are getting the output as true. If we pass the negative scenario, in that case we will get the false value. So let's we go for the next function, okay, that is int, okay. Let's first rename. So is it function as well take a input as a string. If you pass the number, you will face an error. So I just pass your negative scenario here, okay. I'm passing the float number, okay. Let's see what output we are getting. Previously we checked the positive scenario. In this case, we will test the negative scenario and see what value we are getting. So each thing we are seeing practically in depth, okay. So you can understand each and every point. Still, if you have any question, any doubt, you can ask in the comment box, okay. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you have any thoughts, any suggestion, please let me know in the comment box, because we are putting lot of efforts to create these valuable videos for you. So now, friends, our is it function flow is run, okay. And if you go in the output section, we are getting the false value. Let's go and see the last index of function. And the 10th one is very important, that is length function. Mostly interview asks this one, okay, in the interviews. And also the in most of the scenarios how you can use, okay, it will twist the question there. So let's we use our second last function first, compose. So let's we see the last index of function. Let's click on power fx and let's pass the value here, last index of. So if you see friends, it required the string that may contain the value and return the last index of value within the string. So let's we pass some string here, okay, 1 2 3. I'm just passing the random string here, okay. And if we use the comma here, let's see if we have any parameter, the value for which to find the index of. So we will pass the 2 here. No, we need to pass the value that we need to search. So we will pass it 1. Let's click on the add and let's run this flow. So if you see friends, our formula run successfully, and in the output we are also getting the number index is 0, okay, because we pass 1 as the first. So if you see friends, we have two functions, okay. One is index of function and second one is last index of function. So index of function find the number from the starting, and the as mentioned name suggests last index from find the number from the ending of the string here. So let's we see the last function here, okay, that is length. First let's we rename this, okay. So length function we use for the both the parameters, for the array also we will use here. So let's go and see this. So it is required collection, okay, means array or the string, and it will return the number as output. So let's we go and pass the string here. We previously session also we use the length function. If you watch that video, it's good. If not watch, then please go and watch that as well. Let's click on save and test. So we are getting output as 184. And if we pass the second parameter here, okay, so we will get, okay, the out. So friends, in our next video, we are seeing the remaining function. So please stay with us, okay. If you have any questions, put in the comment box. Thank you friends. Have a nice day. Automate today's function nthIndexOf. If you watch our last video, so we have here last index of function and index of function. So if you know, so index of function search the string from the starting, and last index of function search the string from the ending. Let's assume in our text, okay, so this is our text for the demo purpose we have taken. So I want to find the yes position, okay, means I want to do the some operation, okay, when yes is coming second time or the third time repeatedly. So how I can do the operation there? So first index give me the first one, first yes position, last index gives me the last yes position, but I want the second or third or like in nth position number. So how we can do that? So for that purpose we have nth index of function. So let's find fourth time where yes is came, okay. So index of function, okay, let's we go to the power fx and use your nth index of. So if you see, it required us text. So let's we pass the text from the dynamic content. Then it required the search string. So let's we pass here yes, and the occur means when it should came, okay. So first three times we will ignore, okay, and the fourth time we will count. So let's go and save our flow. Let's test it manually trigger. Let's click on test, run a flow, done. So friends, if you see our flows run successfully, and the fourth time it is coming at 23 number. So let's go to the Microsoft documentation and see what input it is keeping. So nth index of function taking the text, search text, and the occurrence as we mentioned practically, okay, and return the integer value means the number of position here. If it not able to find the number, it will return -1, and it always count from the 0, okay. So let's we go. For our second function is replace one. Let's add the action here. Let's go to the power effects, use a replace. So let's see the replace function. Okay, so what replace function does, so it will replace the old text with the new text. So let's see this practically. We have the text available with us. So I want to replace this 93 with the 90 days. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So let's I go to the replace function. Let's go to the power effects. Let's use a replace. Then let's pass the string that we need. So let's we search for the text. Okay, so scroll text, comma. We want to search the string. If you pass a number as a 93 without these codes, so it will give you error. So you need to pass the number as well in the string format. So let's go and click on the add here. Let's click test the flow. So friends, if you see, our flows run successfully and it replaces all the 93s in the 90. You can see friends. Let's go and see the another function. So our next function is slice. Let's go click on add data operation compose. Let's rename. So what basically slice function does, so slice function take a piece of the string. Okay, let's go and see it practically. Okay, so if you see in this, if I want this information, okay, till this, okay, so we can take this part of the string by using slice function. Let's go and see how it works. Okay, so in let's go power effects, use here slice. So first we need to pass the text. So let's go to the dynamic content and let's pass the text here. Then we need to pass the starting index from, I need from the 15 digit. Okay, and the end should be like on the 30. I'm giving this randomly. So let's see what output we are getting. Let's click on the test menu trigger 7 test. So if you see friends, our flows run successfully and in the output we are getting a string. Okay, int sites are, so this we are getting as a slice. So now we have split function. So this is mostly used function. Okay, and also in the intros also this asks, okay, what is split function and how we can use that. So let's we see this split function. So let's see practically and understand this function first. Okay, so if I want to split, means I want to convert this string into an array on the basis of like comma or anything. Okay, so we can, by using a split function, we can convert string into an array. Mostly intros ask, okay, how we can convert the string into an array. So by using split function we will convert the string function into an array. So let's we see split function required a string. So let's we go in the dynamic content and let's pass the string as the output. Then let's use the comma here and require a separator to this. Okay, so let's pass separator as comma. Let's click on the add. Let's save this. So we have passed a string here. Okay, and we need array on the basis of comma. So let's see, test the flow. So friends, if you see, our flows run successfully and also we are getting the output in the array format. You can see friends. Okay, now our next function is, let's see friends, today's last function, start with. Okay, so let's understand this function. If you see the end with function, then you can easily understand the start with function. Okay, so what basically end with function does is find out, okay, the string is ending with specific word or not. Okay, so if it is a dot, we will pass to end with function, so it will return true value. And to the start with, if we return the delete or d as a starting parameter, so in that case we will receive the true value. So let's we go for the positive scenario this time. Let's go to the power effects function. Let's use here start with. So first we need to pass the text. So let's we pass the text here. Then we need to pass the text that we need to search. So we are checking it is starting with DE or not. So let's click on the add and let's run this flow. Let's click on the run flow. Click on done. So friends, if you see in the output, we are getting the true value, substring function. So what basically substring function does? So if you see the slice function, it similar to the slice. Okay, it extract the part from the string as similar to the slice function. But what is the difference between slice and substring here? So if you know in our last video, slice function we need to pass the starting and ending index. But in the substring, what we will do, we will pass starting index and how many character we will want that we will pass. So let's we go and see the practically. So let's go to the text function. Like I want the 10 characters, okay, from the 0. So I will use the substring function. Let's we go power fx use your substring. Let's select the text here, and then the starting index is 0, and we want the 10 characters after the starting index. So substring function gives us. Let's click on save and run our flow. So our flow is running and saving as well. Run a flow. So if you see friends, our flows run successfully and we get the output as well. So now let's do one exercise here. Okay. So what I want from the text function, I want this much string only. Okay. So by using expressions, how we can achieve that? So first we need the ending point. Okay. So we have the ending point as a dot here. So we have here dot. So how we can find the index of this dot here? Okay. So if you see, we have some of the functions available with us. Okay, so last index of function gives us the this dot. Okay, so we can't use this. Then we have the nth index of function, we can use this as well. Okay, so we have the dot f from the starting and we can find the index of this, and then by using substring function we pass the starting index and 0 and we can get this. So also we have the let's see by using both the functions how we can do that. So let's give your exercise one. By using nth index of function we will do this. Okay, so first we will use your substring, then we need to pass the text here. So let's pass the text, then we need to pass the starting index. So starting index is 0 in our case and we want the length. So we will use your nth index of function. So let's say pass the text here. Okay, same text we will copy, and so in nth index of we pass here the output in the string, and then the dot which text we need to find. So we need to find dot and which occurrence. So we need to find the first occurrence. So let's we go update this and let's run our power automate flow here, and let's see we are getting output successfully or not. So if you see in the output, we are getting the. So similarly you can also do by using the index of function. Okay, so let's see the another function that is to lower and to upper. So let's go to the expression. Let's rename this to lower function. Let's go to the expression here to lower. So to lower is convert all the characters into a lower string. So let's we simply pass here our text. Let's click on the add. Let's add one more function to upper. So when you are searching a string, okay, in that case you can use to lower and to upper to convert your string, okay, when you are matching or passing the sub o data filter queries. In that case, you can use toLower and toUpper functions. Okay, so let's say pass the output string here, and let's run our flow. So our flows run successfully, and if you see in the output, so all the letters are in the smaller case, and in upper we have all the letters in the uppercase. Now let's see the last function, that is trim. This is also mostly we use in the expressions. Okay, one of the important one, trim function. So in our string, okay, if we want having some trailing white spaces, okay, so if you see this is trailing white space, here also we are giving some white space. Sometimes it is not visible to us, okay, but here it is some space we are given. Okay, so if you want to remove this trailing white spaces, so we will use the trim function. Okay, in the text also we are giving the white space. Okay, so to see it is removing all the or only the ending. So let's we go to the trim function. Let's go to the expression. Let's use a trim. Let's pass the text here. Let's click on the add, and let's run our Power Automate. Let's click on save and test. Done. So friends, you can see it removes the only starting and ending trailing pace. If you have the in between middle something trailing pace, it will not remove. So that's all about friends about string functions, and this Power Automate flow is available you to download on my GitHub. So from there you can learn and enhance your skills. Thank you friends. Keep learning, keep growing, keep exploring. Have a nice day.